As you saw from the announcement and the banner, this webinar is the second part of the series in which we discuss basic and advanced IT infrastructure monitoring and compare them. And as well, like in the first webinar, this one is also hosted by two companies, StarWind and VirtualMetric, as you can see from the banner, and from the announcement as well. So also like in the first webinar, we have two same hosts. Myself, my name is Vlad Savchenko. I am Senior Solutions Engineer at StarWind Software. I'm working at the company for more than 8 years. And also today I have my good friend from VirtualMetric, Mark Arts. So Mark, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thanks, Vlad. Welcome, everybody. My name is Mark. I'm the Senior Solutions Consultant for VirtualMetric. I have about 25 years of experience in solution consultant, technical sales roles in monitoring, observability, AIOps, IT service management, and application performance management. So happy that you joined, and again, happy to do this together with my friend Vlad.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. So we're almost done with the introduction. So the last thing is I want to let everyone know that this webinar is being recorded. And once we finish this webinar, in a couple of days, we'll release the recording of this webinar. So you could rewatch it or share with your friends or with coworkers or with the boss. So more people will know what we're talked about and receive more information about the monitoring and what we will discuss today. So we're done with the introduction. So let's go and talk a bit more about what we're going to do today and what we're going to discuss. So here's our agenda for today. And as you can see, today's agenda is very short. So today we're focusing on technical side of things and the live action. But in any case, we plan the following for today. So we start with a quick recap of the first webinar. We'll quickly remember what we discussed, so we all will be on the same page. Next will be the main part of today's webinar. So we'll do a live presentation of both solutions or both offerings that we presented on the previous webinar. And after that, we'll have a good old Q&A session with you all, where we'll answer all of your questions. So without the further ado, let's start. So we start our quick recap of the first webinar, and we started our first webinar with the quick introduction to the hosting companies. So for those who are not familiar with the companies and first time like interacting with us, with both companies, so I will start with the introduction to the StarWind software. So for those who don't know, StarWind Software is a storage solution company that focuses on providing reliable, redundant, high-performing shared storage solutions. Today, StarWind as a company has different solutions that cover different requirements. So in our company's portfolio, we have a multi-purpose hyper-converged hardware solution that can be used for building all sorts of the clusters. Also, we have a software-defined storage solution that creates highly available and redundant shared storage. Also, we have all-around backup solution and the virtual tape solution as their archival storage. So I think this information is enough for now to understand what is StarWind as the company and what it is doing for life. So now I will pass my word to Mark to introduce or reintroduce everyone to the VirtualMetric. So Mark.
Okay, thanks, Vlad. So VirtualMetric, it's a comprehensive IT monitoring platform that offers in-depth insight through customizable dashboards, allowing users to troubleshoot issues quickly. The platform supports proactive, agentless monitoring with automated alerts and detailed analytics, helping businesses to optimize system efficiency and reduce downtime. The platform covers a wide range of environments, including hypervisors, servers, networks, databases, storage, inventory information, and log files, making it versatile for complex infrastructures. It got unprecedented efficiency in collecting agentlessly data and processing that data up to 1.2 million events per second and a compression ratio up to 99% or even more. Then the user-friendly interface and scalability makes it suitable for businesses of all sizes, from small, medium businesses to very large enterprises.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mark, for this introduction. So yeah, so let's proceed. So we're continuing our recap with the first of two main parts of the previous webinar, and also what we're addressing today, a typical monitoring problems and pain points. And we're starting with the first one, which is data volume and variety. So a lot of the data needs to be collected, stored, processed, and analyzed from each part of the production. Let's add that all of the data has different login formats, metric systems, collection protocols, etc. So all of that happens in real time. So all of that complicates the aggregation and normalization of the data.
Yeah, then next we have the latency and network issues. The network is obviously very important for data collection. Data transfer speed, stability of the network, and failures, they can all affect the collection, analysis, and further alerting. Because of those issues, the data collection could be incomplete, delayed, or worst case, even fail.
So yeah, we continuing with the root cause analysis. So we already mentioned that having a massive amount of all sorts of data makes the analysis very challenging. However, mapping events and metrics across a large number of services makes it more difficult to identify the exact cause of the issue and to what components it relates.
Yeah, let's proceed with scalability. This one is relatively simple. The infrastructure grows or changes, and it could be a very rapid process. So keeping the monitoring systems up to date and able to reflect and support the changes can be very challenging, especially considering the time and resources required to do all of that.
Okay, so the next one is alerts noise. So we can make it wider and call it alerts fatigue and noise. So it's very common to receive too many alerts, many of which are false positives or low priority alerts, leading to alert fatigue. So in other words, you will be so tired of alerts that you will miss the important one, or you can simply miss that important one through the list of tons and tons of them.
Yeah, the following is compatibility. Here we can actually also add integrations as well. Often we need to use multiple monitoring tools for different components. Integrating and unifying these tools can be very difficult. Here we are not only talking about integration of the monitoring tools themselves with the infrastructure, but also the integration with, for example, existing IT service management systems.
Okay, so we can continue, and we continue with the management costs. So it's actually um, not specifically related to the monitoring of the infrastructure, but also it's related to everything that we're dealing with today. So it's a continuous struggle to find that sweet spot between solid monitoring, great capabilities, and acceptable costs.
Yeah, the next is maintenance. This one is combined with compatibility and scalability. First of all, monitoring tools, like any other software, requires updates to be installed and configured. That requires time and human labor to do so. Then the integration grows, infrastructure grows or changes. So our monitoring needs also changes. The monitoring system should reflect all of those changes by reconfiguring or reinstalling or newly installed monitoring agents, for example, or update them. All this requires additional time and a lot of labor involved. And that process is actually continuously taking place.
Okay, so we're closing this section with the last problem, which is the security. So here we also can add the access control. So it's a challenging task to ensure that data is encrypted in transit and at rest. Also, we need to control the access to the data. So the management and audit of the access across multiple teams and tools is very complex. Yeah, so let's continue. We're done with the first main part that was the main part of the first webinar. So we can continue with the second part. And that part is the introduction to the two solutions that we are offering from StarWind and VirtualMetric. So I will start with the introduction to StarWind StarFleet. And as well, let me remind that first of all, let me remind that the project StarFleet is in early development stage. So the end product is planned as your go-to for monitoring and managing all of your hyperconverged infrastructure sites, whether it's basic stuff like running health checks on a few StarWind Virtual Sun installations spread across your campuses, or more complex and creative tasks like updating operating system, firmware, drivers on a fleet of StarWind hyperconverged appliances clusters. So Starfleet will as well provide you the real-time monitoring, as you see on your screen, provide a single pane of user interface. So you will be able to manage everything from a single user interface. As well, you'll be able to manage multiple clusters at the same time. As well, it will be easily integratable, and the Starfleet itself, it will be the modular solution. So you will be designing which part you want to use. Like if you want to have only monitoring, then you'll be working only with the monitoring or with the management as well. So as well, StarWind will be fully integrated. StarWind Starfleet will fully support the integrations with Zabbix, Nagios, and other popular monitoring tools. The first product demo will be available in the second quarter of the next year, 2025. So today I will show you just a tiny bit of what could be achieved with the Starfleet. So it's a custom integration of StarWind vSAN with the Zabbix for monitoring the StarWind virtual SAN events. So yeah, so that's pretty much for the StarWind introduction. So yeah, Mark, you can introduce audience to your solution.
Yeah, thanks, Vlad. So like I said before, we cover a wide range of technologies and infrastructure components. On the left side, you see all the different modules. So we offer virtualization monitoring, server monitoring, network monitoring, inventory management and reporting, and change tracking. So not only monitoring the environment, but also understand what has changed. At the right side, you see the log monitoring part. So we collect all the different types of logs, existing logs, but also custom logs. And there's one icon that mentions cybersecurity enablement. That's actually a new value proposition that we are building right now on top of the existing technology. But today I will actually focus on the IT infrastructure monitoring capabilities. That all goes to one place where we do a lot of analysis, store the information in a ClickHouse database very efficiently. And since a monitoring UI is typically not a dead end, we also integrate with external collaboration and IT service management tools to pass over the alerts to escalation systems, ticketing systems, MS Teams, etc., etc. So I think that's enough for the recap of what VirtualMetric is in a nutshell.